Hi, welcome to this video on the Five Ferries trip around Scotland. So it's a well-known popular route, and as the name suggests, you take 5 ferry trips that link up to the islands, Arran and Bute and parts of the mainland, and typically can be done in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, whichever way you want to go. So I've done it a few times before, and it is a great ride, very scenic, really nice, good day out. But unfortunately, that wasn't going to happen on today's ride because due to Calmac, one of the ferries wasn't running, which we didn't know about. You buy tickets for a 5 ferries ride, so they're aware what you're doing when you start the day. But yeah, we had a route that turned into a 4 ferries ride and a bit of a panic, but we'll come back to that later.
So number 2, got runs up. 10 minutes, plenty of time.
Anywhere you just could run out and buy. Thank you. Up the hill and then head straight in the direction of that windsock.
driving into Tarbert to get ferry number 3.
So this is where it all started to go wrong in the day. So this ferry from Tarbert isn't actually running, and speaking to people in the harbour, it's not actually been running for 2 weeks. So here we are, we can't get any further. They did put on an alternative boat that could take 12 foot passengers. Now we're a group of 16. They said they could take bikes as well. And there was quite a few people waiting, so we couldn't get on the first boat. So we were speaking to them, and 4 people said they would go back already, the way we've already come, get off Arran and get the last boat back from Arran. But that would mean getting in quite late, and the remaining 12 of us, the person running the boat said they would shoot across and back and just do shuttles. It's about a half-hour trip each way. So we thought, for the rest of us, we can wait in Tarbert. The boat goes there and back, picks us all up, and we can carry on and make the rest of the route. But unfortunately, it got to 4 o'clock and there was no sign of the boat even on the horizon. Now, doing some calculations at this point, we knew even if the boat turned up and got us back across the way, we were never going to make the last ferry off of Butte. Now, for me, I had a flight at 6 o'clock the following morning. So panic was beginning to set in, and it was time to get moving. So we all decided at this point, we were all going to go back across and get the last ferry off Arran. Though timing wise, things were now different. We would have to get across back to Lochrahansa, and we would have about an hour to get across and catch the last ferry. So discussions were had, and it was decided it was basically every man and woman for themselves. You could go as fast as you could across Arran, and those that made the ferry made it, and the rest would have to somehow sort themselves out for accommodation, etc., and potentially wait till the following morning. But you did have to go over a large climb as you come out of Lochrahansa, which is why we didn't decide to stay together in a group, because we knew it would get split up, and we thought we'll get some smaller groups of people of equal ability, and they can work and help each other to get across when it came down to it. Now, for me, after speaking to people in the ferry queue at Collintrave, there was a group of female golfers that had a van, and they were going to drive back across to Brodick. So they had room for one person. So because I had to get a flight first thing, it was sort of decided, right, I would go with them and help move their golf clubs about in the van, and get my bike in and get back across. So really grateful for those ladies in helping me out, because I got back in plenty of time to make the boat, which was a bit of a relief. It was I had been tempted to cycle it and go for it. It seemed quite a nice challenge to have an hour to get across Arran and go full gas the whole way and chase a ferry. But as somebody pointed out, if you get a puncture and don't make it when you had a lift on offer, it wouldn't look great the next day when you're trying to explain to work why you're stuck on an island somewhere on the west coast. So I made it, and then the 4 that had already gone earlier, they were already there. So then we started speaking to the people at the ferry terminal. We had WhatsApp showing where people were on live location, doing our best to beg them to keep the ferry longer if they could for the few minutes if people were late. But as it happened, they were beginning to shut the gates actually to the ramp, for the boarding ramp. There was still time left, but the lady on the gate said it was up to the crew, not them at the gates, whether the boat would wait. And it has to be said, even though the organisation, CalMac, I think everyone on the Western Isles who has to use them knows they're an absolute disaster at the moment. But the crew on the boat were fantastic, and they said they would hold as long as possible and give it to the very last second. And as you can see from the video here, this was the last 2 people making it, and everybody got on board. And so thanks to the crew for that. They were definitely a really good help to us all. So we all made it back eventually. So here's the end of the trip.
I'd be a wee bit teary.
And Andy might be by the looks of it. Well done. So we're unexpectedly back in Ardrossan, having done 4 ferries because the Tarbert ferry got cancelled and we had to go back in reverse where we were. So now we got 20k ride back up to Largs, as we thought we'd have a nice short 10k at the end from Weems Bay coming off a butte, but there we go.